Hey, now wow for Nigeria, Ọlọ́run máa jẹ́ kí Nigeria kó má end gbogbo wa o. I welcome you to our Saturday broadcast again, as a lot of development is happening, and also as we bring the latest of what is happening from the southwest of Nigeria in Yoruba land to the southeast to the north, as many of us are continuing to be concerned and worried about the news coming out of Nigeria. I can confirm from the information reaching us on our platform that this particular week has been a very serious crisis across every part of Nigeria. From Yoruba land in Ibadan, where we saw multiple deaths of innocent children, coming to Abuja, where we are hearing Stampede, and coming into Anambra, where we are also getting the news of Stampede. These are concerns, and the question is, why is all this happening at this very difficult time that millions of Nigerians are suffering from lack of basic amenities that the federal government and the state governors should be providing for the people? As we say all the time, may Nigeria never happen to us. But what about if Nigeria happened to us? What do we do? And these are questions that we're going to be asking in the next hour on this particular live transmission. My name is Koiki, and also the platform remains the Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to our doorstep. Nigerians are going through a very rough and difficult time, and it is important that the international community should continue to monitor all these atrocities that are happening in Nigeria. Why are these atrocities happening, and what can be done to elevate the problem? Are these problems deliberate? Are these problems man-made? And what are the solutions to all these crises that we are facing in Nigeria? Only on a Wednesday, we saw the news coming out from the southwest part of Nigeria of death of innocent children. This news is still being reported, even though the government have not set up any crisis committee to look into why these deaths occur in the first place. And also, as we saw the news filtering out at the early hours of this morning from the same southwest part of Ibadan, that there was another fire that occurred, that millions of property were burnt in this particular fire. And just about a few hours ago, more news started popping out from Nigeria about the death and stampede from Anambra to Abuja. And this is making a lot of us concerned that for how long are we going to continue to live in denial about the state of the situation that are arising in all the geographical part of what is known as Nigeria today. And for us on this channel, we are very concerned and we are very worried. And that is the reason why we are reporting this news of all these atrocities coming out of Nigeria. So we're going to be giving us the latest of what we know so far and what has been reported so far. I want us to share the program and invite your friends and family to come around and listen. That while some of us are campaigning strongly for Nigeria that is no longer capable to look after the 200 million of its citizens, to allow a peaceful disintegration of Nigeria, many Nigerians continue to disagree. And these are the innocent ones that are caught up in all the crises that is currently done on them. And this is concern of humanity. And we're again telling the international community to look into the cries of those that are asking for the right to self-determination so that we can save many lives of our people that are being killed on a daily basis in Nigeria. The situation is getting worse and it is not getting better. So we're going to take you straight to Ibadan to first report what happened in Ibadan. But before we do that, I believe we should first give you the latest that is being reported right now as I speak to you from Anambra all the way to Abuja, where the news is filtering out of death of innocent Nigerians, according to the report coming out in the last few hours. Are these deliberate, or are these just one out of many mishaps that occur because of lack of governance? For the last 64 years of the Nigeria being put together, there has been lack of governance, and that has led to hundreds of innocent Nigerians being killed in different parts of the country. 3 major food stampede leading to many deaths within 3 days. What is going on? And what can be done? We hope that President Bola Tinubu will call for a total shutdown and look into the food crisis in Nigeria today before we lose more lives. It is important that the president speak to us so that we can know the plan and what needs to be done so that thousands of people can be saved from the current situation that is going on right now in Nigeria. Once again, my name is Koiki, and if you're new to the channel, the only thing we talk about here is self-determination, which is an inalienable right of the Yoruba people and those that believe they need to go out of Nigeria. Abuja Stampede, Ibadan Stampede, Anambra Stampede, all these happening within just 3 days of each other. And this has now become a concern for millions of indigenous people that are Yorubas, Biafrans, and the Arewas. That is this how we will all keep quiet and do nothing when humanity is crying for help? Like I said, our job on this channel is to review what is leading to the death of innocent Nigerians in the last 3 days from Ibadan. And all these, all happening in the space of a very short time. So what we're going to do is, let's first take us to Ibadan, where we know that death also occurred of innocent children, about 35 of them, that all got caught up in what we can now confirm as death because of the stampede. We have not yet been able to look into this and get over the feelings of losing 35. And I'm told that the numbers actually risen up. It's no longer 35, it's about 55, somewhere around there, the people that died in Ibadan. I'm talking about 55 innocent children lost their life because they were looking for food and they needed that food to survive. And that means that many people end up dying. Let's work with the numbers. But like I said, let us remember that every single numbers from Anambra to Abuja to Yoruba land are all human beings. And this is now becoming alarming and concern to hundreds of us around the world, especially those of us that are concerned that the death of these innocent Nigerians should never have occurred if measures were put in place in the first place. But since the measures are not put in place, we will continue to witness the death of innocent Nigerians until Nigeria comes to the end of its expiration, when indigenous people demand their full right to exit Nigeria. But as long as the same set of people do not want to accept Nigeria to be dissolved, all we can say, as usual, is, may Nigeria never happen to you. And those that Nigerian has happened to, we pray that they will be able to go over it. And if you have never witnessed being a victim of Nigeria, all I can say to you is, please pray that you are not a victim. Because if you are a victim, you will not be the one to tell the story. Somebody else will have to tell the story. Let me remind us again that these are innocent people that should still be alive today, but because of the greed and the corruption that has taken place in Nigeria for the last 64 years, means that we will lose more lives, because it has now that the federal government can no longer look after Nigerians, and it seems that everybody would have to find a way to look after themselves. Let's first listen to this.
There's no way anybody in his right mind will organize an event of this nature without involving security apparatus. I mean, people are very sane and they are alive to what is happening around us. You can't camp 10,000 people, children for that matter, in a place and expect them to behave normally.
You've listened to that. Let's listen one more time. That is from Ibadan on Wednesday.
no way anybody in his right mind will organize an event of this nature without involving security apparatus. I mean, people are very safe and they are alive to what is happening around us. You can't cramp 10,000 people, children for that matter, in a place and expect them to behave normally.
You have just listened to the incident that occurred in Ibadan. We are now going to take you to Anambra State, where many fear dead as ride-sharing causes stampede in Anambra State, southeast part of Nigeria. My name is Koiki, and the question is, how much time do we need to rescue our people, whether they are in the southeast, whether they are in the southwest, regardless of wherever they are across Nigeria? What do we need to do more to save our people that are being killed on a daily basis because of lack of government welfare to support them? The next video is a little bit, and I use the word, can be of concern to you and many of you that are watching. So please put that at the consideration that these are human beings that were never meant to have died if the government have put all the measures in place to save lives. But unfortunately, we don't have the government in place to do the needful. And the government failed not just you and me, but the government failed every single one of us, and it is important that we listen. Let's take you to the next video.
Happening now. Yes, they are wondering why. You have not to solo the Kera Sophie Jackson. Rosu Kaho, let's use the money. Let's use the house, the money to let's say. Our is, I don't know, let's use the money. Baba Bele, Ajikara, Nabo Belan, there, where Madukaho. I can be going to Madu, Aka, Indigenous can be just just watch and see. Aka, Madam, that's it. Monday the email. Happening now. They are Bobelando. 21 December. Let's go to where the Arumre, Lenya, let's use the mother. Nga kalibita kwa kaho. Yale kwa kaja let's use the mother. Lena oko na Arumre. Happening now. Aji kera su bijasin. Ndabunda su loko. Let's say Usuka. Ya wale diskanu na ndebi tribute. Ndebi conscious ade ba kalibita kwa mo. Asiya weba rumo da 100. Wow. Okay lafu. Happening now. Everywhere. Le kia moja la mumu na me. Le online la Arumre. Oh what? Keep the go to bed. Yeah, so them money. Like I want to scan now. Every baby. Now I can.
We have just watched innocent Nigerians that lost their life due to lack of government in place. From the local to the federal to the state, that have failed every single Nigerian, that is Anambra State, southeast part of Nigeria, where we are reporting the death of innocent people. Those that should still be alive are now being feared to have died because we don't have a government in place. Before we take you to Abuja, let us first again focus back on the situation in Anambra State and what do we know so far. The police have confirmed, and let's take you through to the story of this development that is happening as we are reporting on this channel this particular day, the 21st of December 2024, 4 days before Christmas, and it looks like some rituals, or what do you think, are being done on innocent lives for the benefit of some. According to the report, scores are killed, others are injured in a palliative stampede in Nigeria, Anambra State, southeast of Nigeria, a third incident in 1 week. Several people have been killed and others are injured following a stampede in Nigeria's southeastern state of Anambra in a third incident in 1 week. The Anambra incident happened at the gate of Obi Jackson Center in Okija in Ihela local government area of the state on Saturday, today, the 21st of December 2024, during the sharing of palliatives, including rice, vegetable oil, and money. It was gathered that victims were mostly women and children who were gathered at the gate, struggling to gain entrance amid a very large and uncontrollable crowd. The palliatives were donated by the member of the community, Chief Ernest Obi Jackson. According to the witness at the venue, many people collapsed, with several bodies and injured persons taken to Our Lady of Lourdes Hospital, Ihela. In a viral video that we have all watched earlier, seen by Koiki Media, several bodies, mostly women, including an apparently pregnant woman, lifted the vicinity of the hospital's mortuary. According to the police in the state, Anambra could not be reached for comment. Many relatives of the victims were seen sobering, uncontrollable, with the voice narrating the incident in the video that we have all watched. Earlier on Saturday as well today, in the capital city, we're going to come back to that. Let's take first to Anambra before we move to the next incident that led to the death of innocent Nigeria. Like I said, quite a lot is happening, and these are happening at a very fast pace. Let's go back again.
Happening now. Yes, they are wondering why. You have not to solo the Keraso Picasso. Go to Kaho, let's go to the mother. Let's go to the house with the mother to our is, I don't know. Let's go to the mother. Baba Bele, Aji Karas, Gabo Belan. Madukaho, I can live to go to the mother, Akaho, Then you can I should be just just watch and see. Akaho, Madam, that's it. Monday the email happening now. There are Bobelando. 21 December. Let's go to the Aromre. Let's go to the mother. Nga kalibita kwa kaho. Yari kwa kija let's go to the mother. Lenaya. Oko na Aromre. Happening now. Aji kera su bijase. Ndabunda su loko. Let's say usu kaho.
What a dark Saturday and what a dark week in the Federal Republic of Nigeria that failed to look and take care of its own citizens. What an irony of life. That life means nothing to the government and the state, the politicians that are running the affairs of what is known as the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We're going to take you to the next story. And these are real story that is happening at a very fast pace as we move now to Abuja. What do we know and what have we heard from Abuja, and what do you think all these and why these are happening? Once again, my job here is to review and ask questions and ask if this is how we can continue to live in denial, even in the midst of all these situations. Nigeria is now at the crossroad. The next story is coming from Abuja, the federal capital city of Nigeria, where report is reaching us.
Tani ya kiya mere lokeja. Nga jere kera isu bijasin. Le dan wuso ya. Ole mena ya wale diskano na. Le se ele. Ha ji kera isu bijasin. We zu wuso ya loko.
Bear with us, our listeners. There was an interruption there by somebody that wants their children to speak Yoruba. The next one is coming from Abuja. As the news is reporting, many fear there in Abuja Stampede. At least 10 people have reportedly died, with many more injured in a stampede at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church in Maitama, Abuja, Saturday, the 21st of December 2024 today. Koiki Media bringing the world closer to your doorstep. All this is happening because there's lack of government that cares about its people. The death can be avoidable, but since the government care less, and that has meant that people will die for as long as we remain one Nigeria. One Nigeria is a crime scene, and pray that Nigeria should not happen to you. If Nigeria happened to you, you will understand why some of us that are campaigning for Nigeria to be de-amalgamated means we want to save lives. At least 10 people, according to the news reporting on the Koiki Media International News website, where you can visit to get all the latest news and the updates. At least 10 innocent Nigerians are reportedly being killed. Many are injured in a palliative stampede in Nigeria's Abuja, a second incident in 1 week. According to the report, these innocent Nigerians were all struggling to get food, with many more injured in a stampede at the Catholic Church in Nigerian capital city Abuja, according to the local news outlets that are reporting. The Saturday 21st of December 2024, the incident occurred in the morning when residents scrambled to receive palliatives distributed by Holy Trinity Catholic Church in Maitama, Abuja, the federal capital. According to the eyewitnesses, the incident occurred between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. local time. You can see how the news has been suppressed for many hours when we have the NTA and we have all other news agencies that should have reported this quicker. But it tells us something, that freedom of speech is not something that the government wants us to be free. The government wants to continue to suppress it. How can a news of death in Abuja about 7 a.m. local time is only being filtered out at exactly almost 6 hours after the death of these innocent people? Who is covering up and who doesn't want the news to filter around the world? That is for you to think of. The event was organized to provide relief to struggling residents, reportedly drew residents mostly from Mapepe, Gishiri village and other nearby settlements, just like the Ibadan event. When people hear about free stuff, people travel from all masses of areas to attend the freebies. Police and emergency services again could not be reached for comment. I'm sure you know why. These and many will still happen should we remain in a one Nigeria, because Nigeria itself cannot look after itself, not to talk about the citizen. And many of such has happened when people cried out of hunger on a daily basis in the last 18 months of this government. But yet, many say we should just continue to manage, because one day it will be better. Listen to this.
Báàgì méjì 500 kí ló tún ṣẹlẹ̀ èwo ló tún ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí kí ló tún kọ pure water omi tá fi ń dáná omi tá fi ń dáná kí ló dé pé gbogbo nǹkan báyìí ìnira ti pọ̀jù ìnira pọ̀jù Lagos State yìí kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbà tẹ́ ń ta pure water láti inú mọ́tò méjì 500 méjì báàgì méjì 500 láti inú mọ́tò àwọn tó máa tún tà kọ́lé ló máa tà kí ló dé pé ìnira pọ̀jù ní Nàìjíríà ìnira ti pọ̀jù. Àtìgbà tí Buhari ti bọ́lẹ̀ báyìí ni Buhari ti gbé lọ́fù ló ti gbé ìfẹ́ lọ kò sífẹ́ mọ́ ìnílẹ̀ ayé ti pọ̀jù epo wọn àsọ̀rọ̀ gàrí wọn àsọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo nǹkan wọn àsọ̀rọ̀ ṣé pure water omi tá a mu lẹ́tún jẹ́ kó wọ́n omi jọ́sọ̀ omi tọ́lọ́run dà tó ń ṣe pé bóyá pé kínní òun lẹ́tún jẹ́ kó wọ́n ibo la ń lọ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà ibo la ń lọ báyìí níbo la ń lọ tó bá pọ̀ ogun la máa jà tí gbogbo èyí máa fi solve tó bá pọ̀ ogun la máa jà tí gbogbo ìyà tí àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù ń jẹ yìí táàfin ní jẹ mọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká kúkú jagun ẹ tó bá máa kú kó kú ẹ tó bá máa yè kó yè ìnira àtẹ́ni wọ́n lára yóò ti pọ̀ jù ẹ̀yin nìkan lè gbádùn kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gan ṣẹ́yìn lè gbé wáyé wọlé síbẹ̀ ni. Why we stop to be like this? Nàìjíríà sì máa dùn oúnjẹ Nàìjíríà ìgòsù ìtìjọ́ ló máa tó dùn.
So carry the body to face the challenge and keep me in good health to be able to fulfill the dream and the aspiration of millions of our people. And that's a covenant that you have to really pursue. Other than that, why are you in politics? So carry the body to face the challenge and keep me in good health to be able to fulfill the dream and the aspiration of millions of our people. And that's a covenant that you have to really pursue. Other than that, why are you in politics?
If you don't allow we Biafrans to go, that zoological republic called Nigeria will be a worse place than Somalia. And today it is happening. And if you have not applied for your Somalian visa, please try and do so. Should I say Somali visa? Try and do so as quickly as possible, because the zoo is on the path of destruction, and there is nothing man can do to reverse it. Mark today's date and what I'm telling you. Nigeria will be destroyed beyond human comprehension.
Impediment to Yoruba development is the impediment to Oduduwa development. Without Nigeria, we won't be where we are. 1962, we were far ahead of South Korea and North Korea. We were far ahead of China even. We had television before France. We had radio before South Africa. Now look at where we are today. I think it's a shame that even any Yoruba man can be talking about restructuring at this point in time. What are we restructuring? This country that is already shot to pieces? I don't think that's what we want. But they are always talking about giving Nigeria a chance. The patience of Yoruba with Nigeria has come to an end. Impediment to Yoruba development is the impediment to Oduduwa development. Without Nigeria, we won't be where we are. 1962, we were far ahead of South Korea and North Korea. We were far ahead of China even. We had television before France. We had radio before South Africa.
Wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ epo àwọn á di 200 á di 5. Ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀, a máa gbé wálẹ̀.
Ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀, ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀, ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀.
Wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ epo àwọn á di.
Kazeem Hussein olú ti sú wa, eku òkè bí eku mọ́, ẹyẹ òkè bí ẹyẹ mọ́, gàrí là ń mu sá èmi àtàwọn abí mi àlè jẹ ráìsì mọ́, ẹ̀wà náà ti wọ́n, gàrí ọ̀gá ti di 1-2, ó ti sú mi, orílẹ̀-èdè ti sú mi, báyìí kọ́ ni wọ́n bá tẹ́lẹ̀, gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ní ọ̀la yìí ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀pẹ ni wọ́n ká o, ẹ̀kọ́ Awólọ́wọ̀ wọn ká àlè rán mọ́ sùkúù mọ́, ayé yín ò dáa, ó ti sú wa o, wọ́n bá wá nǹkan sí i àti forítì ẹ rí i pé orí mi gan ti pa, ó ti sú wa o, ó ti sú wa o, orílẹ̀-èdè wọn bá wá nǹkan ṣe sí o, ráìsì ti di gàrí ti 1-2, mo tún gbọ́ pé ráìsì ti di 80,000 àpò, wọ́n bá wá nǹkan ṣe sí i, tá a bá tún wá bẹ́ẹ̀ rẹ̀ pọ̀ báyìí epo 680 700 là ń rà, kí ló dé kí la ṣe? Àwa akórópè gbogbo ẹ̀pọ̀n ní òmò gbóná lálẹ́ tá a mọ̀ fọmi wẹ́ẹ̀tì ẹ̀ pẹ́pẹ́ kan òmò lànà àní rí kankan, epo náà ní ń bá a lọ, owó sukùl bíìsì àmọ́ mi ò rí san báyìí.
Zadu, I live in the zoo, Babu. I destroy you.
Let's come back to the program. There's a lot happening. But as usual, self-determination is the direction and is the solution to the multiple problems that is facing millions of Yoruba, Igbos, Hausa in a one Nigeria. And if we do nothing now, it will come back and bite every single one of us. And the reason why some of us are crying out today that it is important that we allow Nigeria to go its own separate and we can go ours is because Nigeria failed every one of us. Let's go and look at $11 people that got killed in Germany yesterday. Over 11 million people. But let me remind you that 65 people have died across Nigeria because we were sharing rice. We were told that 35 people or 35 children died in Ibadan, 20 people have died in Okija, and 10 people have died in Abuja, all within 1 week. And all these are deliberate for a government that failed to do the needful to support its people during a very difficult time that many Nigerians are struggling to have 3 square meals. If you keep quiet while people are being killed like this, it shows that humanity has been thrown away. And this is why we are saying to everyone, it is time that we do whatever needs to be done to rescue our people. I'm on a program right now. I don't know whether you want to contribute, but I'm on a live program right now. As I speak to you, I'm on a live show right now. All right, I'm on a program now. Well, Anambra, we've lost 10 people on a stampede this morning, and we have lost 20 people that have died in a stampede in 10 in Abuja, 20 in Anambra. All happened this morning in Nigeria. That's what we're discussing right now.
That private entities and individuals are the one taking responsibility for the lives and survival of an average Nigerian. If this continues, only God knows how many more disasters we're going to be witnessing. We're just losing lives unnecessarily. How can you be sharing palliatives without providing for security, without thinking about health and safety of those coming to collect foods, these palliatives? In Europe, in America, where you want to go for such events, the organizers will have provided security vehicles, health. There will be ambulances and all that, fire engines, police officers to maintain crowd, to control the crowd. It's not rocket science. It's all about thinking ahead of what can happen, what might happen, what could happen.
Okay.
Oh, I get it.
All right.
That's a country where the fools are in control.
So what do you think is what do you think would be the solution to all the, and there was also a fire that happened in Araromi Market in Ibadan that led to millions of properties destroyed. This happened midnight early this morning. 10 people have died in Abuja with sharing of rice. That happened around 7 a.m., but we're only hearing the news coming out in just about 6 hours. 20 people, we have the video, that have also died with sharing of palliative in Anambra, and we saw the one in Ibadan where 35 children in the all Stampede. So 35 Ibadan, Okija in Anambra 20, Abuja 10, and also a fire that led to millions of properties in Ibadan. What do you think in your own is a solution to all these crises that are falling onto each other in Nigeria today?
Okay, look, one life is too much to lose. One life. That's one life too many. Especially in the kind of callous way we lose these lives. See, they say those who plan to fail, who fail to plan will plan to fail. That's what we're witnessing. I have said it several times, Koiki, I've said it times with that number in many fora, that the best thing that can happen to Nigeria right now is break it up. Break it up. See, it seems as if we can't manage large success. Our population is a success. I don't know whichever way you want to look at it. It seems as if we can't manage it. See, I liken Nigeria to a corporation. In America, in Canada, in Germany, in UK. And what they do is, once it is too large, they break it up for effective management. That is what Nigeria needs right now. Break this thing up. In the first place, we are tired. It has become a lazy argument now to talk about how Nigeria was forced together. Because the youngest Nigerian today knows about the history. So who are we lying to? Who are we deceiving? The foundation is wrong. And there's a Bible verse that says, if the foundation is wrong, what can the righteous do? And I said it before the 2023 elections that no matter the goodwill of Tinubu, no matter his expertise, no matter the provisions that are whatever is available to him to make Nigeria better, it can't happen. He can't do it. Nigeria can only be going down. Nigeria has been going down for how many years now? Decades now. And we keep telling our people, oh, Nigeria's going to be better. Since when? Since the 80s. I've been hearing musicians, and there weren't any content creators at that time. I've been hearing people, musicians, politicians, saying Nigeria will be better. And this is every year is worse. Every new year is worse than the last one. Every generation blames the one before. That's a song by Michael and the Mechanics. It's going to continue. How can a government that borrowed itself out of existence continue to borrow more? We are not one people, for crying out loud. We are different people. People, listen to yourselves. What really annoys me is those kind of aping power, this aping power syndrome. So if you guys are not hungry, you will not see that you're in the wrong company, wrong geography. So that self, that's killing self. That is what is making you to cry out loud now. If we break the country up, there's going to be effective management. People can handle their own thing. Look at countries. Look at Seychelles. You spoke about Deliro to me yesterday. I don't know if it wasn't you. Someone else brought Deliro to me. But within Roots Mismatter to a platform that I belong to, that the minorities will suffer. No. There is no minority in Nigeria that is not more than 1 million. What is the population of Seychelles? Or Seychelles? I don't know how our country is pronounced from times I What is the population? They're not even up to 500,000. What is the population of Bhutan in Asia? What is the population of Finland? What is the population of so many countries? What is Liechtenstein? So many countries in Europe and Asia that has very little population than what our nationalities are bunched together as. Until we wake up and realize this thing is not working. It has never worked. It will not work. Until we open our eyes and say, okay, I don't know how many times are we going to say it? We have blocked this issue so hard that it's almost lifeless. It's like we're talking to dead bodies now.
What about those that are still insisting that there is a future in Nigeria? Àwọn tó ṣì ń sọ pé future wà nínú Nàìjíríà, kí la máa sọ fáwọn yẹn?
Listen, Koiki, I will concentrate on the Yorubas. And
Ben, àwọn Yorùbá, Ben. Yeah, the Yorubas that are still saying there's a future.
There are 4 types of Yorubas. Ajala, I'll go as you ask a question, you make a question. This Yoruba nation you guys are talking about, too possible, sir. I'll go Yoruba nation, who possible occasions, I'll go Yoruba nation, who possible, like, so Yoruba nation, with the matter. I'll go Yoruba nation, I'll go Yoruba nation, now let me explain the 4 to you. The first group, I want to master Yoruba nation, show possible, sir. Those are the timid amongst us. One but one timid, and their timidity does not allow them to raise the curtains, the veil that is covering their eyes, their minds. Our first group here. I want to Yoruba nation, no possible occasions. Those are the ones that are actually lining up. Like current Madaru for Nigeria. Àwọn group kejì yẹn. Àwọn tó ti line up wọ́n ti sí ní position wọn ti line up pé àmájẹ tèmi bẹ́ẹ̀ kó tuntun. Àwọn ènìyàn. Àwọn group kẹta Yorùbá nation ló sì highlight the possible. No, I have to give all sort of academic arguments against the formation of the Yoruba nation. Our arguments to achieve would have been with the low. Their brains have been looted. One loot Nigeria, I want to really look to our Nigerians. I want to solve with Nigeria, Yoruba nation, like possible. I want to get Madaru low here. Not the veget, it's lie. Not my jet from Africa. I went in. Would you better? And the 4th group, I want to talk with Yoruba nation. I want to face solution here. I want to say, kill me at its end. I want to So I don't know for the life of me why people will continue to. One of the programs I listened to, Ruben Abachi, talking trash, talking nonsense. As educated, our class of educated fools who want their own post. How can you be talking trash? If it goes back in history, she were formed. I'm okay. He has the effrontery. He had the temerity to call him an illiterate. What does it understand by illiteracy? Does it think going to school, acquiring an academic certificate? Illiteracy. Illiteracy. There's a difference between literacy in language and literacy in knowledge. By virtue of what it's been doing in the last how many years, what you show people who are literate. We have empty shells with PhD, professor, this professor, professor. They are limited in their discipline. Going to university, acquiring a degree at any level is not about being contained in your academic discipline. It's about expanding your horizon. University gives you the opportunity to be able to think for yourself, think wider, think out of the box. In country university, she have a PhD, like this, that. I have interacted with a lot of them who they know nothing. I was with the team of Banji, academic excellence, too by the common sense. Common sense is more difficult to acquire than academic. People I want to prepare a template for academic excellence. Want to prepare a template go grab it, go. The way it means international relations, but it's your ability to think deeper than your peers. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in Abasi and his ills.
2025, I'm going to be bringing you more in, even as much as a lot of people doesn't know that we have caliber of Yoruba people. So from 2025, we will be bringing you on the platform. But for the benefit of our people, I want us to take something away from you today. Kini the next steps or stages for Yoruba to exit Nigeria. If you want to speak it in English or in Yoruba, whatever your message coding in 21/12/2024. What are the stages, the next step for us to derive, achieve, conquer, get, gain without minus, plus to our quest to self-determination of the Yoruba nation?
I don't want to give the press, the social media, something to glean about for the next few weeks and months. So I'm not going to do that.
Okay, let me rephrase it this way again. What are the what we the media needs to work with in terms of our 4 years that we have run the movement with a fantastic campaign? What advice would you give now that we should look into, we should work with as we are heading to 2025 and still our Yoruba nation has not yet happened, but we know with what we are doing and our leaders, we are getting closer to somewhere. What advice would you give? If you can't give us the first one, you should be able to give us the second one.
Okay, I've said it. I've been saying it for years now that people like you're doing a fantastic job. But you need to raise your game. And the only way you can raise your game is by creating a forum, a different forum, the same forum using your base to create a different forum of disseminating information to the youth, to the educated, to the elites. Maybe once in a week, twice in a week, give formal news. Because they can't see beyond what they hear on social media. They have social media and you can't trust social media. But when you have a corporate department that deals with real news, that can counter the news coming out of Nigeria, because it never stops. What did they have? Look at the case of Daily Fatalities, for instance. TVC News. All they do is bring people on board who will argue the case for Afenifere and the Justice Department. They will never bring. I never for once how they bring anyone argue the case of Daily Fatalities. Maybe they do it once in a while, but I can't be. My own TVC, but most of the time when you listen to TVC, who see anybody to my cancer, so I want the media, Yoruba World Media, yourself. I've told Lucas several times over. Information is sacrosanct. It's very important. The Bible says, "My people die because of knowledge, because of lack of knowledge." And what gives you knowledge? Information. The last election in America, what made Kamala lose is her inability to attain certain media houses. So she was advised, but she refused to go to those media houses based on some silly, crazy, silly ideas. But once information gets to the right sources, and when you're at the grassroots level, won't get information, right? But I'm talking about the educated, the elite, the youth. It's how you beginning skates don't shake you in. Skate to live, but all the skates on you by life or job. All the skates don't shake you all of them. They are reveling they are shuffling and smiling, as Fela said. So continue to do what you're doing.
Okay.
But please create a different department from your base where solid corporate news can be getting to people.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the contribution on the timeline, Koiki Media. Thank you. That was one out of many that speak to us behind the scene and also give their own advice on how things can be done. The images you are watching or the images you are seeing right now is a slave trade image. And it seems that the only difference today is that we are putting on a better outfit, but we are all still slaves. How many people agree? Èèyàn mélòó ló accept pé this time around, aṣọ tá à ń wọ̀ òun ló kàn ń bò lójú, ẹrú náà sì ni gbogbo wa. Can you call into the program? And also, let's talk about the way forward. Because we will just be reporting stampede. Like I said yesterday, ṣe rántí pé anonymous ṣe ń sọ pé ìjì tó ń lọ, we should not allow that to take us into it as well. Because kò sí bá ṣe fẹ́ stop it. Ìjì tó ń lọ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, tó ń lọ nílẹ̀ Haúsá, tó ń lọ nílẹ̀ Ìgbò, ìjì yẹn ò ní tán. As long as tí a bá ṣì wà nínú Nigeria, the longer we are in Nigeria, the more we are all going to face the consequence of all these atrocities that is happening to our people and those that are not Yorubas. Ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fún gbogbo èèyàn pé àsìkò tá gbọ́dọ̀ tẹ̀lé Yorùbá nation òun la wà yìí. There is no doubt about it. So I want us to look at that image, and I'll be showing you more of those images because these are images ta fẹ́ jẹ́ kí ó jẹ́ bí in tí ẹ máa rántí pé àwọn ìyá ńlá wa àti bàbá ńlá wa were suffered during the colonial time, and we are also facing the same threat today, and that is why we are hearing Stampede, all that. I don't think anybody will go out in the UK, and even as much as there are poverty in the country, but there will not be Stampede for food, because there are measures that are put in place. Ẹni Ọlọ́run dá sọ pé then it was physically slavery which is easier to break loose, but now it's mental slavery rather, which is difficult to get loose. Mr. Moses Olaniran, Yoruba nation dream remains still, nothing will stop. Of a nation of glory, people, Nigeria principality and the power cannot stop it. Waris Jinadu says, and I quote, how will Yoruba exit Nigeria? Waiting go spend, waiting go eat, useless naira, weaponized food. I greet you. The line is open. I will put the number out there properly should you want to call into the program. But as we have been saying on the timeline over a week now, we will continue to plead and beg each and every one of you to support and endorse our fundraising so that we can do a lot in 2025 from the media perspective. Mo kí àwọn tó wà ní òkè ògùn, mo dẹ̀ kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ní gbogbo ibi tẹ́ bá wà, and those that are not Yorubas. One thing we have to continue to remind ourselves is that there is an agenda to keep us in one Nigeria by the globalists. And it is ourselves, myself and you, will have to work hard láti lè free ara wa. The Senate proposed bill to ban the use of foreign currency in Nigeria is 419. Waris Jinadu. Yoruba sweat tears and blood, diaspora labors and foreign currency remittance into Naira is the backbone of the 419 economy. Can we start thinking of how we can start gradually to stop the use of Naira? Koto Dipa exit Nigeria. Is that possible? That is a job for some of us that are in financial sector. The more money we are sending from the diaspora back home that is converted to Naira, the stronger Nigeria remains. But the more we crush the Naira, reducing our foreign remittance and making it available in a different format. So you have send the $100 sí Nigeria tó jẹ́ pé àwa là ń support it. Maybe we should start thinking of another way around. These are many reasons why we need many people on board. Mr. Olalekan sọ pé, well done. There is no other solution than a separate nation called Yoruba nation out of Nigeria. Mo kí Yàwá Ọmọbọ́láńlé Sàká, báwo ni Òyìnbó market lẹ́nìí? Yàwá Táíwò Kíkẹ́fásọmí and all our team on Koiki Media Network. Slavery all happened, but kò ṣẹlẹ̀ lásán. Àwọn bàbá kan náà mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀. Àwọn bàbá wo là ń sọ yìí? Àwọn bàbá tí wọ́n mọ̀ dájú pé ìran Yorùbá ó gbọ́dọ̀ tú. And today, we are witnessing more death of innocent people. How do we stop all this? Ṣàkó màmá wa jáde lójoojúmọ́ Stampede. Mokia Tobi Milomo. Mokia our Grace Olushoto. And these are many reasons la ṣe ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn wa pé the slavery tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ìjọ náà lọ́hùn a ṣì wà lẹ́nu ẹ̀ báyìí o. Almost every one of us are trapped. And the globalists do not want us to be free. They want to control us. They want to make sure that we do not have what it takes to fight back. And one of those things that we use is food. Look, the food is here in my house. The food is in the kitchen, is in the freezer. But how come in a country where we have arable land, in Yoruba land and other places, I should struggle to have 3 square meals by our people? Millions of our people are still struggling. Kí ló fà, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Is it a deliberate act, or is it just something that we can overlook? I think it's a deliberate act. You know, I know that it is a deliberate act. That if people do not have food, you will use that to decide their fate. And that is why we are hearing all these. If you remember during the COVID, I still have the videos of how millions of Nigerians started breaking different food banks to get themselves free so that they can rescue and have something to eat. We still have those videos in our archive. If I look for it, the quicker we exit, the better for you and me. The longer we stay in Nigeria, the more problem. How many of you remember these? And I'll see if I can get those videos in a minute. Tebaranti during the COVID, when food silos were busted and people started running helter and skelter, láti lọ gbé oúnjẹ níbi tí wọ́n ti rí. And I think I have the videos. Let's watch some of those videos. All these, again, are not coincident. It's a deliberate act to make sure that ẹ̀yin ẹrú a máa febi pa yín, tébi bá ti pa yín dáadáa, you will listen and succumb to our quest, according to the politicians. Because ọmọ pé tó bá ti febi pa wá, ní any choice. Ìtọ́ bá ní ká ṣe la máa ṣe, àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́. When the politician knows that you are hungry, they will use different people to go and tell you, oh, we are doing food bank, food charity in Nigeria. And we have now seen the end result, where people scrambling for food eventually die. Any loss of lives in Europe will be reported continuously for days and weeks. But in Nigeria, it gets reported for a very slow pace because and these are many reasons why we are saying Ilẹ̀ Yoruba only what it takes. And I think I should first let us watch this video that was produced by Aluka and OBJ somewhere in Yoruba land, Nifaro Tomato, while I prepare the next video. Let's watch this together.
Sangba, we are live now at Ọjà Ọ̀dàn ní express Ọjà Ọ̀dàn lọ sí Wùnbẹ́. Òun la ti ń ṣe live yìí. Ṣátìrì wọ́n jẹ́ kó yé wa wípé tòmátò yìí, tòmátò Yorùbá ni àwọn Fúlàní máa ń rà lọ́wọ́ àwọn máa lọ tún tà. Gbogbo wọn tó ń sọ wípé
these are tomatoes that are grown in Yoruba land. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ fídíò rẹ̀.
Sangba, we are live now at Ọjà Ọ̀dàn ní express Ọjà Ọ̀dàn lọ sí Wùnbẹ́. Òun la ti ń ṣe live yìí. Ṣátìrì wọ́n jẹ́ kó yé wa wípé tòmátò yìí, tòmátò Yorùbá ni àwọn Fúlàní máa ń rà lọ́wọ́ àwọn máa lọ tún tà. gbogbo wa tó ń sọ wípé
ẹ máa gbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣàlàyé kankan.
ẹ ti rí.
ẹ máa gbọ́ wọ́n jẹ́ kó yé mi pé 3,500 4,000 làwọn máa ń ta pẹ̀rẹ̀ kó tá bá fẹ́ rà ní ìgboro lọ́dọ̀ wa 10,000 14,000 ìgbà míì 8,000.
ṣé ń gbọ́
iye tí wọ́n ń tà ní.
àwọn fún haúsá yìí máa ń rà ní 3,000 4,000 bọ̀tẹ́ bá fẹ́ lọ rà ní mile 12 báyìí apẹ̀rẹ̀ tẹ́ ń wo ilé ọmọ máa ta fún yín ní 14,000 8,000 àwọ̀dẹ̀lá ní gbogbo àwọn nǹkan yìí o according to gbogbo nǹkan tó ń sọ́ọ̀sìn ṣé ń gbọ́ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ní a lè dáko a lè ṣàgbẹ̀ ẹ máa bá ń ṣí ẹ̀ ẹ gbọ́
tọ́rọ̀ bá di pé a fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí iyán àgbẹ̀ lónìí Yorùbá lónìí.
ṣé ń gbọ́
so tá a bá fẹ́ di ipá kí ṣe nǹkan kankan àgbẹ̀ lónìí lọ́wọ́.
ṣé ń gbọ́
so tó bá yẹ pé nípa ọ̀rọ̀ alákadé àwa la ní.
ṣé ń gbọ́
so
àwùjọ olóore kankan tó ń ṣe wá ẹ jẹ́ kó máa lọ kó ní kálukú dá wà lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ẹ ti rí gbogbo ẹ̀ ẹ ti rí gbogbo ẹ̀ ẹ máa bá wa share kẹ́ máa bá wa like love share ẹ máa bá wa ṣe kẹ́ máa bá wa pín káàkiri ẹ share gan kó máa káàkiri gbogbo àwọn ẹlẹ́nu òṣì tọ́ni tá a bá dá dúró ṣáà lè dáko kí la fẹ́ jẹ ṣáà lè ṣàgbẹ̀ ẹ ti rí tòmátò làlúkà ń jẹ ẹ ti rí àlúkà ń jẹ tòmátò ẹ ti rí àwọn èèyàn mi iron lady ọjọ́ ọ̀dàn tòmátò náà ń jẹ yìí ẹ ti rí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ láàní tòmátò ọ̀dọ̀ wa náà ti wá ń koná ló ń ta lówó gelemọ fún wa ìwọ tó bá fẹ́ rà kọ́ńtàtì mi màá fún ẹ ní bí wàá ṣe máa ráwọn gbogbo nǹkan yìí rà díẹ̀ mi nínú àfọ̀já Trump kẹjẹ ká mọ̀ ẹ ti rí gbogbo ẹ̀ ńlẹ̀ ó pọ̀ lẹ́bi yẹ̀pẹ̀ ó ń ṣe bí nìkan o ṣé rí gbogbo ọ̀nà yìí láti ọjọ́ ọ̀dàn títí lọ dé ìwúnbẹ náà tó sí ibi nìkan láti bí títí Ìpòbẹ ládébọ́dà Nàìjíríà sí Benin Republic gbogbo ẹ̀ ló wà ibi nìkan la kàn ti láǹfààní àti dúró yá ni ẹ̀yin ìyá mi Ọlọ́run á ṣe ẹ jèrè ẹ fèrè jẹ̀kọ ẹ ní ṣe lásán lógo Ọlọ́run ẹ kú iṣẹ́.
Wickedness of the government. Wickedness of the government. Wickedness of the government.
And many of us remember this video. This was during the COVID.
Wickedness of the government. Is happening live. It's happening live. Wickedness. 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 Wickedness of the government. Wickedness of the government. Wickedness of the government. Wickedness of the government. Ọ̀ṣun Ankara in Ilesha. Ọ̀ṣun Ankara in Ilesha. Wickedness of the government. Ọ̀ṣun Ankara in Ilesha. Ọ̀ṣun Ankara in Ilesha is happening live. It's happening live. Wickedness. 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 Wickedness of the government. Wickedness of the government. Wickedness of the government. Wickedness of the government. Ọ̀ṣun Ankara in Ilesha. Ọ̀ṣun Ankara in Ilesha. Wickedness of the government. Ọ̀ṣun Ankara.
Seafood àlékótá lónìí yẹn dẹ̀ wàláì àlékótá o. Ẹ máa bọ àlékótá o. Ó jẹ́ ipò wàláì kàláì. Seafood àlékótá lónìí yẹn dẹ̀ wàláì àlékótá o. Ẹ máa bọ àlékótá o. Ó jẹ́ ipò wàláì kàláì. Seafood àlékótá lónìí yẹn dẹ̀ wàláì àlékótá o. Ẹ máa bọ àlékótá o. Ó jẹ́ ipò wàláì kàláì.
Wickedness of the government. Wickedness of the government. Wickedness of the government. Wickedness of the government. Ọ̀ṣun Ankara in Ilesha. Ọ̀ṣun Ankara in Ilesha. Wickedness of the government. Ọ̀ṣun Ankara in Ilesha. Ọ̀ṣun Ankara in Ilesha is happening live. It's happening live. Wickedness. Wickedness.
I'm sure a lot of us remember during the COVID. Oúnjẹ tó ní kó pín fáwọn èèyàn. Politicians converted it to their personal birthday souvenir gift For how long are we going to continue to live in denial? For how long? And these are the reasons why some of us are crying out on a daily basis. That pé ọ̀nà àbáyọ tó kù òun ni pé ká gbara wa kúrò lọ́wọ́ àwọn amúnisìn. And it can be done if we are sincere all together. Àwọn Yorùbá kan wà sincere lọ ṣe ń sìn sọ pé politics àwọn ló kàn, politics ẹ̀bà àti gbẹ̀gìrì tán ṣe tí kò favour aráalé, tí kò favour aráàta. Let me remind us again that 10 people died in Abuja this morning. 20 people died in Anambra today. 35 children died in Ibadan on a Wednesday. All these are human beings that should still be alive, but apparently they all died due to one reason or the other that is avoidable. It is only 4 days to the Christmas, and we have lost lives of innocent people. 4 more days before Christmas. 4 more days before Christmas. You would think that people that heard about Ibadan will put the measures in place so that we will not witness the kind of incident that we witnessed. Let me show you the Nigeria that we pray doesn't happen to you and me. Let us watch this. This is a plane that wants to take people from point A to B somewhere in Nigeria, and it has become Molue.
Ọ̀ṣun Ankara in Ilesha.
Alone. Let's come to this. Is this a country? Are you sure that this is a country or a banana island, a zoo, as our brother? I'm sure we should play this video in line with that.
I live in you, Babu.
It might be no, I didn't realize that my mic was on.
Zadu, Alibizu, Babu. Zadu, Alibizu, Babu.
Wickedness of the government. Wickedness of the government. Wickedness of the government. Ọ̀ṣun Ankara in Ilesha. Ọ̀ṣun Ankara in Ilesha. Wickedness of the government. Ọ̀ṣun Ankara in Ilesha. Ọ̀ṣun Ankara in Ilesha is happening live. It's happening live. Wickedness. 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 Wickedness of the government. Wickedness of the government. Wickedness of the government. Wickedness of the government. Ọ̀ṣun Ankara in Ilesha. Ọ̀ṣun Ankara in Ilesha. Wickedness of the government. Ọ̀ṣun Ankara in Ilesha. Ọ̀ṣun Ankara in Ilesha is happening live. It's happening live. Wickedness. 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 Wickedness of the government. Wickedness of the government.
All these ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí bá ṣe ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀. Èmi ti sùn lọ. That is how far we can take you for this other breaking news. We hope that we will not have to come out for another breaking news again. Bí a kò tẹ̀ sinmi díẹ̀ títí di another day. Who knows? The first breaking news was from Ibadan, where there was a fire. We talked about it this morning. That fire led to the innocent businesses being destroyed.
Yeah, we'll bring the one closer to your doorstep. This is Araromi Market at Boston Gate. On fire.
At Boston Gate is already on fire. Today, 21st of December 2024. We are bringing it live to you from there. First of December.
In tẹ́ ń wò yìí, that is Ibadan Araromi Spare Part Market. Then Yawa Grace Olusoto 4 days before Christmas, and it is pain across every part of Nigeria. Ẹ wo ọjà ojú làárọ̀ yìí, mọ́jú àárọ̀ yìí ní Araromi ní Agodi. Wọ́n ọdọọdún bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ṣe ń jó. Is it a terrorist attack, or is it just a normal coincidence? Run the Yoruba businesses down, and that way nobody will have the power. Ẹ wo ọjà bó ṣe jó láàárọ̀ yìí. Tá bá dẹ̀ ń pariwo, look at the video I showed yesterday. Láti 1956 ni company ló ti ń process surplus food into high quality feed. Òun ṣáwọn Fúlàní olórí burúkú tó ń gbé màálù káàkiri tó fi ń ṣe jàǹbá fáwọn èèyàn. Sórí gbogbo tí truck wà, Koiki Media bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Sórí gbogbo truck, each of these truck, they are all doing a job. Koiki Media bringing around town sọ ni àwọn afẹ́gbà country tí a lè process tàbá ń gbé jáde láti inú farm wa. Ṣé iná rí? Láti 1956 ni company ló ti ń process surplus food into high That is the company that I was showing you their video. Let's take this out. That is the company. Bá dìde ní kíákíá, we would all run into crisis. Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ ká run into crisis. Look at the video I showed you, and we can now prove that it is a company, Sugar Rich. That is the video. You can see there. One of their trucks. This is one of their trucks that was pulled over in a trailer park somewhere in central London, by the M25. Trailer park, Nibitan Park, Park, you see. It's called the trailer park. And you will see all other trailers. Don't deliver. Can you see them? Each of these trailers are moving goods from point A to B. And this is the company itself. Animal feed, food factory. What do? We recover surplus materials from food manufacturers, food distributors, food retailers, and turn them into a nutritional balance of high performance animal feed. À ń sọ fọ́mọ Yorùbá pé wọn ò nídìí láti máa wọnú igbó yín láti máa pa yín kó tó jẹun. Did you hear that? Iṣẹ́ tí ilé-iṣẹ́ yìí ṣe ni pé wọ́n máa ń káàkiri lọ gba oúnjẹ tó jẹ́ èyí táwọn manufacturer ò lò mọ́. Àwọn á wá sọ di tí màálù máa jẹ. I don't even know how ta ṣe máa ṣàlàyé fáwọn èèyàn wa nílé. Ẹ̀yin náà wo ilé-iṣẹ́ yẹn. This is their truck. Òun la record ní bíbá. Jerry, fresh from the food factory to farm. Oúnjẹ yẹn ló máa fi feed the pig, ló máa fi feed the màálù, ló máa fi feed the ègúnfe. Láti 1956, Nigeria ò tí gba independent ní iléeṣẹ́ yìí tí exist. And ìwọ jókòó bẹ́ẹ̀ ó sọ pé o ò ríṣẹ́ ṣe. Báwo ló ṣe fẹ́ kó ríṣẹ́? Because àwọn ò fẹ́ jẹ́ kẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́. And we can see what they are saying here. What do we do? Kí ló ń ṣe? Wọ́n náà wọ́n máa ń recover surplus materials. Kò sẹ́ni tó mọ̀ pé kò ń sí surplus. Even nínú ilé yín náà yàtọ̀ sí Nàìjíríà. Lọ́dọ̀ wa nísìnyí, we have a lot of surplus. Surplus máa ń pọ̀ nínú. Even as Christmas is coming across UK, Europe, there will be too much surplus. Táwọn èèyàn máa dànù tó bá máa dijọ́ kejì. Because ṣe làwọn èèyàn máa ń rà bí wà tẹ́ pé ayé fi parẹ́. You go to the store now, nílé breathe. Everybody, back and forth. So what we are trying to explain to àwọn èèyàn wa ni pé màálù ò nídìí láti máa káàkiri kó tó fún lóúnjẹ, ó ní láti wà lójú kan ni. Àwa lọ wá àwọn tá a máa wá oúnjẹ lọ́dọ̀ wọn tá a máa fi feed àwọn màálù yẹn. Food distributors, food retailers, and we turn them into nutritional balance, high performance animal feed ingredients that are environmental friendly. Kí ló ń pè ní animal feed? Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wá òyìnbó tó ń pè ní animal feed. Tá a bá sọ pé animal feed, kí ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀? Kí ni a lè sọ pé there are 3 types of animal feed. We can conveniently classify feed into 3 main types: rough edges, concentrate, and the mixed feed. Rough edges include pasture forage, hays, silages, and byproduct feed that high percentage of fiber. Àwọn olórí burúkú fún wọnú igbó wọ́n ń jẹ oko wa àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́. Tàbá dẹ̀ sọ fáwọn èèyàn wa ṣe lọ́ ẹ máa ní ká ṣọ́tọ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo fídíò yìí. I do not have a copyright, but let's see if we can learn something from this. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ wo fídíò yìí. Figuring out the right animal feed. Ìwọ tó à ń sọ fún pé
we always say that.
Ní sùúrù arákùnrin máì tí sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ wo fídíò náà bọ̀. And I do not own the copyright.
I always say that the taste of our products is phenomenal. And we say that that stands on 3 legs. The first leg is the breed that we're raising. The second leg is the way that we manage the animals, how we treat the animals. And the third leg is the feed. The feed that we use for our chickens and hogs is a local feed from local farmers. So this is really a top-notch feed. The second part of that is that we found that if you let a feed after you crush the kernel and mix it up, if you let it sit for 30 days or more, there's a noticeable oxidization and loss of nutrients over those 30 days. So that's what we do. We buy in bulk feeds that is ground and crushed and bagged and delivered to us the same day. And then, of course, in addition to that,
tó o bá tẹ gbọ́ gbogbo òyìnbó tó ń sọ látàárọ̀ ó ṣàrí màálù nísìn. A ní kò sí future nínú Nàìjíríà. Ilé yóò ṣe pé àyísọ kò sí future. The future is dead. Kò sí future. Ẹni tó bá sọ fẹ́ pé future kan wà ní Nàìjíríà kò fẹ́ gé ní. Bó o tẹ gbọ́ gbogbo òyìnbó tó ń sọ látàárọ̀ pé oúnjẹ táwọn ń ṣe làwọn fi ń fún àwọn màálù lóúnjẹ àtàwọn adìyẹ. Many people wants to go into poultry, but kò sí àyè yẹn. I don't know what more we need to tell you. Iṣẹ́ wà fún wa tá a bá délẹ̀ lérí wa. Gbogbo eléyìí ló yẹ kó máa ṣe. Ẹ wo bí ta ti mú fídíò yẹn. We started from here. We went from there to there. From there we came here. Ẹ wo nǹkan ta learn again in just in the space of few hours. Started to wà lórí program nísìn. Àwọn eléyìí nísìn. Iléeṣẹ́ yìí nísìn. They are doing everything. Gbogbo oúnjẹ táwọn companies ń produce ní big lójoojúmọ́. Àwọn á lọ gbàjọ. Chocolate ní bisikíìtì ní wàá kó gbogbo ẹ̀ papọ̀ wàá crush ẹ̀ wàá dà fáwọn adi feed. This is where we need researchers. This is where we need. But ṣé ìgbà tí company tẹ̀ exit in Nigeria, how do you want to do that? Nígbà táwọn company ní kúrò nínú Nigeria. So ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa ibi tá a máa rí ètò ti ọ̀sán yìí tá a máa rí mọ́ nìyẹn again. We hope that we will not have to come out for another breaking news, at least for the next few hours, because I know that we will always get breaking news from Nigeria. And those of you that always say, Koiki, we already good news more in Nigeria. Well, you have to blame your government for not giving me the good news to talk about. I would love to talk about the good news, but apparently your government is not giving me the joy to talk about the good news. So I will have no other choice than only to talk about the news that filter out of the contraction for me to project to the world to know. How can a stampede happen in Abuja since 7 o'clock in the morning and it has taken about 7 hours or 6 or thereabout for those of us outside the country to know? So it shows that freedom of information is being suppressed by some people that doesn't want us to be free. Mo wá rọbẹ́ mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá wa darapọ̀ mọ́ ètò ti àsìkò yìí. Ẹ má wá gbàgbé bí a ti ṣe sọ fún wa, ẹ ràn iléeṣẹ́ yìí lọ́wọ́, àbẹ̀yìn, arọ̀ yín. Ẹ fún wa ní gbogbo support ká lè jọ ṣiṣẹ́ yìí ní bá ṣe fẹ́ ṣe in 2025. Iṣẹ́ pọ̀ tá a fẹ́ ṣe. There's a lot of tasks ahead of us, and those tasks needs to be completed so that we can be able to do many activities as we go into 2025. 2025 now is a countdown. How can you support all those details? If I need any other information on how you want to support and you are not too sure, please reach out to me and I will give you all the necessary information that you need. And if you are going to do so, we will continue to say we appreciate it because ẹ̀yin gangan ni ẹ fi jẹ́ kí iléeṣẹ́ Èkó tẹ̀síwájú ju bó ṣe yẹ lọ. I was talking about something yesterday about the United Nations and all that. Gbogbo àwọn iléeṣẹ́ yẹn náà, they are always asking for support all the time because without support, they cannot exist. And I think I should show you one of such. Let's close some of what we have. And let's take you straight to the email that I received. And this was, like I said, from the United Nations. I'm sure some of you remember we talked about it yesterday. Let me quickly show us a bit of that before we go. And as you can see, that is the email that came yesterday. Well, not yesterday, on Thursday. United Nations Association, the United Kingdom, newsletter, a look back at 2024. This year has been immensely dark across the world, meaning that our work and the need for an effective United Nations have never been more urgent. As we reflect on this year, which is what Koiki Media is doing as well, we mourn the senseless killing of innocent civilians in Sudan, Nigeria, Ukraine, Gaza, and countless other conflicts across the globe. 2024 has been the deadliest year for aid workers. We remember all those that are killed while working to deliver humanitarian assistance, as well as journalists who have died whilst working to report from conflict zones. While this time is difficult, it is true collective action and commitment to humanity and a better world that we will find our strength. Thank you to all our members and supporters and partners that make our work possible and champion the values of peace and cooperation. Our final newsletter of the year looks back at what we are proud to have achieved in the last 12 months. I'm sure we have also achieved a lot on this platform, and I'm sure if you think so, we're asking you to support. Jeripa ọ̀nà fi pé donate. Ilé-iṣẹ́ tó o bá ti sọ pé kó donate, á jẹ́ pé wọ́n ń gba funding látàwọn ibì kan. So we are also saying for you to donate and help us. And it's not just myself, like I said. Every journalist that works hard in whatever they do will always need that support. And I want to show you one more before we go again. As we say all the time, there is a lot of work that needs to be done, and that work is what we are doing right now. And we can never be tired. That is one thing. If anybody thinks, oh, we will be tired, no, we can never be tired. And kò sí nǹkan tó lè jẹ́ ká wà tired. This job will be completed, whether you like it or not. It has to be completed. It is a job that needs to be completed, and it will be completed, God's willing, as we put all the mechanism, gbogbo tá bá mọ̀ pátá làwa máa lò láti fi ran Yoruba Nation campaign lọ́wọ́, gbogbo nǹkan kí nǹkan tá bá mọ̀ pátá. And we're doing our best on this channel. Let's read this one more from our investigative journalist that also sent me the email, and as usual, always say, look, and we will be ending the program in just about a few minutes. I hope I can find this quickly. All right, let's read this again. This is coming from International Consortium of Investigative Journalists. Dear reader, as a machine learning engineer at the ICIG, I am deeply grateful for your support. It enables me to develop innovative tools that help our journalists analyze vast data sets, identify critical patterns, uncover hidden connections in their pursuit of investigative stories. I'd like to share a recent example with you, the passport detection tool. Passports are often the key to unlocking secret ownership of offshore companies and trusts. But finding them among millions of leaked documents is a monumental challenge. That is why International Consortium of Investigative Journalists has teamed up with a machine learning expert. What team pẹ̀lú àwọn kan torí àwọn ò lè dá ṣe? It is not going to be cheap. They have teamed up with the expert from Oslo Met University and Norway National Broadcast NRK to develop this technology. Ṣẹ̀gbọ́n wọ́n láti àwọn náà láti ṣe kí ni? Wọ́n láti connect. Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ kí Koiki kó grow more, àwa náà gbọ́dọ̀ partner, a gbọ́dọ̀ connect, a gbọ́dọ̀ ní critical thinking. Oslo University and Norway, critical thinking in primary education, collaborate to produce news broadcasts for young children. The project also investigates how news and children literature can help children develop critical thinking. To develop this technology, the tool, a product of 3-year collaboration, uses advanced techniques to identify passport scans buried deep within massive data set to extract names, birth date, countries of insurance, and other essential details. This enables journalists to efficiently validate, share findings with each other, generating new leads. This is just one of many tools we have developed to strengthen investigation. From our AI-powered data analysis platform to our innovative data visualization tools, ICIG has always embraced cutting-edge technology to stay ahead of evolving challenges in increasingly complex world of offshore secrets. Creating and sharing tools like these require time, expertise, resources. I can't do it without you. Please donate today. Without money, a kàn ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ ní ẹgbà Yorùbá Nation kankan. Ẹgbà Yorùbá Nation ẹ̀fẹ̀ náwó. Oh my God. Ṣé gbogbo tí mo kà iṣẹ́ yà gbọ́ sí tí mo kà látẹ̀kọ́? Wọ́n náà wọ́n nídìí láti increase cut-edge technology wọn. Àwa náà tẹ́ ń pè ní Koiki Media. A gbọ́dọ̀ lè increase cut-edge technology tó máa fi lè reach àwọn èèyàn nípa pé ọ̀rọ̀ Stampede yìí á lè dákun dúró. Àwọn tí wọ́n wá ń pààyàn yẹn àbáwọn tó ń ṣe jàǹbá nìbàdàn ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, àwọn kan wà tá lè ṣe tó jẹ́ pé journalist máa ṣe kò ní the government. But nígbà tá a bá ní owó lọ́wọ́, ṣe lápá máa rojọ́ ẹjọ́. You can see there wọ́n ní donate. Ẹ donate ló ń sọ káwọn lè ríṣẹ́ yìí ṣe. Without money we cannot do nothing. Fóun àká lọ máa gbọ́ gbogbo program gbogbo lè gba Yorùbá nation gbogbo ẹni mo fẹnu sọ níbí báyìí. Anybody tó bá challenge mi máa dá yín lóhùn. Ẹ fi gba Yorùbá nation ẹni kò sáà nídìí owó. Ẹ máa lọ gba Yorùbá nation náà rí yín. We are all joking. Ìyẹn la ṣe ń bẹ gbogbo yàn pé we must invest now to be able to succeed. If not, a máa rí àwọn news ìbànújẹ́ yìí. Èèyàn 10 kú ní Stampede ní Abuja, èèyàn 20 kú ní everywhere ní ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ìwọ̀n la rí nísìn. The University of Ogun State student die in auto crash in Nigeria. Scores are killed in Anambra. Àti gbọ́ ti ìtò ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Ondo State. All these are happening within 1 week. Tó bá to the next year, ẹ rí pé nọ́mbà yẹn máa lọ sókè because politician iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ní pé kọ́ fi bí pààyàn. Iṣẹ́ táwọn mọ̀ dáadáa nìyẹn. Ẹ bá dẹ̀ lọ sórí péjì wa, kò bá jẹ́ ti Koiki Media náà lẹ lọ ni, ìyẹn náà sì ń ṣiṣẹ́ koikimedia.com. Ìyẹn ló ní gbogbo everything to do with Yoruba nation. Gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ bá fẹ́ mọ̀ nípa Yoruba nation, ẹ lọ sórí àwọn péjì. Ẹ bá wa náà donate. Okay, go from yóò tẹ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ nígbà tá a rówó nínú ẹ̀. It's not working anymore. Let's go back and ẹ bá lọ sórí page wa tá à ń pè ní koikimedia.com. Gbogbo bẹ́ ṣe lè ràn wá lọ́wọ́ everything gbogbo information tẹ́ need pátá ẹ rántí pé gbàtà náà need 50,000 kẹ́rí gbogbo yẹn ta raise kò wọ 1,200. Àsọpá need 50,000 pounds only 38 people ló donate. Ọlọ́run wà pẹ̀lú wa. Àwọn ò ní jẹ́ kó sú wa kò dẹ̀ ní rẹ̀wà. Kò dẹ̀ ní sọ́yìn tẹ́ ń gbọ́ wa náà tí mo mọ̀ pé ẹ ṣáà ń gbádùn abẹ ṣe ń gbọ́ wa ìyẹn náà ti tó. Kájọ máa gbádùn ara wa ìyẹn náà ti tó. Tó bá dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ẹ fẹ́ ràn wá lọ́wọ́ náà ni pẹ̀lú Ko-fi. Ẹ bá ti click lé lórí gbogbo information yẹn ó wà straight forward. Èmi nìkan kọ́ ni mò ń béèrè fún support. It is the normal thing for journalists to ask for support. Ẹ rí pé àwọn ilé náà ń béèrè. Èlò la máa fáwọn. Ṣé rí pé wọ́n kọ́ síbẹ̀ 700 pounds, 400 pounds, 180 pounds, 70 pounds, 35 pounds, 15 pounds or iye tó bá ní lọ́kàn. Ó wà ethical pé kíyàn ran àwọn tí wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́. Ṣé rí pé àwọn náà kọ́ síbẹ̀. Ẹ pé wà ní email mi. Gbogbo ohun táwọn sọ yìí ṣe gbọ́ Clement Dumiro, machine learning engineer. Ṣẹ̀rí nǹkan tó kọ stories that rock the world, donate now. Àwa máa sọ pé ànídòwó, èmi ò gbọ́ yẹn rí láyé mi o. So kọ́lọ́n kó gbogbo àwọn tí ikú pa ní gbogbo Nàìjíríà, kọ́lọ́n kó dákun kó jọ. Aláwọ̀ bàbá mo kí ẹ, mo kí Ògúnmọ́lá, ó ní Abuja again. God abeg o, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Abuja again. And on that note, Ajijangbara Media TV, mo kí gbogbo apá àkópalẹ̀bọ̀ Christmas. Oh, Christmas nìkan ni bọ́ọ̀sì òkè rìn nílùú òyìnbó. The whole transportation system shut down for midnight so that everybody can spend quality time with their loved ones. My name is Olayomi Koiki, popularly known as Koiki Media on the social media network. We love you, we appreciate you, but like I said, the danger ahead is still there. And what is the danger? Nigeria. The longer we stay in Nigeria, the more we are in trouble. And that is all I can say for now. Yoruba nation not going back. Inauguration of Sharia court in Oyo town by Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria. I don't know what that is all about, but one in January 11, of inaugurate Sharia court in Oyo town. How many of you have seen that? Let me quickly show you Katumalo. What should send the simini? Allah ma shanu wa bayi kilawa ko bayi ní Nigeria o. Mo bọ̀ mo ma show wa nísìn. Wọ́n ní wọ́n fẹ́ inaugurate. Ṣé ó mean anything àbí ká kọ̀ overlook ẹ̀? Ẹ̀yin ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n ẹ bá wa dá sọ̀rọ̀ náà. Sharia court nílẹ̀ Yorùbá láti bo síbo. How come? Àwọn wo ló wà behind ẹ̀? Kí ni agenda yẹn? Àwọn ló ń dá Sharia court sílẹ̀. ṣé a ti wá di Muslim nìkan ni? Ṣé kò sí àwọn oníṣẹ̀ṣe nílẹ̀ Yorùbá mọ́, kò sí Christian tó fi fẹ́ dá Sharia court sílẹ̀? Àwọn olóńgbéra wọn lọ sí court tó nídìí Sharia nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Everybody go shop breakfast. Ọ̀gá o, Sharia court nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Wọ́n bá jẹ́ àfi flyer yẹn wọ̀nyí. Wọ́n ṣe fi ránṣẹ́ sí mi nísìnyí kó tó di pa máa lọ wá tí mo ṣe wà live. Ó lágbára o, ó lẹ́tìkẹ́ o, Sharia court. Àbí àbójú ń dùn mí ni. A máa fi wọ̀nyí nísìnyí mú bọ̀, à ń lòdè lọ́wọ́. Sharia court. Mẹ́wàá ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nílé o. Àmọ́ agenda o. Sharia court. Láti bó síbo, from where to where? Àwọn wo ló tún gbé yẹn kalẹ̀? Sharia court nílẹ̀ Yorùbá wa. Èmi kọ́ mo sọ́hun lẹ rí yẹn o. Náà ló wà lórí screen tẹ́ gbogbo wa ti rí o. Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria, Ọ̀yọ́ chapter, Afijọ, Atiba, Ọ̀yọ́ East, Ọ̀yọ́ West local government cordially invite gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá to the inauguration ceremony of Sharia court in Ọ̀yọ́ town and its environment ní on the 11th of January 2025. Kódà wọ́n fi Islamic calendar say time aago mẹ́wàá àárọ̀ prompt inshallah, venue Muslim Community Islamic Center, Ọba Adéyẹmí High School Road, Mobalaja area, Agbogangan, Ọ̀yọ́. Royal Father of the Day, High Chief Yusuf Akande Olayinka I, Basharun of Ọ̀yọ́ land, Chief Host Tajudeen, àbí kí ló kọ sí bíbá? Mo ń bọ̀, Chief Host, mo ń bọ̀, Chief Host Tajudeen Abdul Ahmed Kamoris Ak Musulumi of Ọ̀yọ́ land. Spiritual Father of the Day, Alhaji Abdulateef Abdul Aziz Eleyele Mutasiru of Ọ̀yọ́ land. Ẹ má bínú bí ṣe ń porúkọ yẹn o. Mo ṣe lè pronounce ẹ̀, mo pronounce ẹ̀ yẹn o. Alhaji Yakub Menzahara Emir Umar of Ọ̀yọ́ land. Àìtí rí nǹkan kan. Ṣé inú town lọ, inú city lọ ti fẹ́ fi ṣe lé àbí inú town? Very soon wọ́n máa gbé wá sínú city. Gbogbo wa la máa jẹ breakfast. Ẹyẹ yan mi, àníri jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ìta bá tún rí sọ sórí yẹn, àmọ́ sọ níjọ́ mi, ìta sọ náà nísìn, Ọlọ́run kó fi àlùbáríkà sí. Ẹ má gbàgbé láti ran iléeṣẹ́ yìí lọ́wọ́ lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀. Ó wà important pé kẹ́ bá wa dá sí gbogbo ìta. Èmi ò tún rí in tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lórí eléyìí tí wọ́n tún ṣẹ̀gbé jáde yìí. Supreme Court wọ́n ní àwọn fẹ́ gbé Sharia wá sí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Tó mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá nílé lóko ní gbogbo ibikíbi tí a bá wà pé ẹ má gbàgbé gbogbo ìgbàkígbà tá a bá ń pè yín, àpè yín síkú, àpè yín sárùn, à ń pè yín dáadáa náà ni pé ẹ ran iléeṣẹ́ yìí lọ́wọ́. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ fẹ́ support wa, ẹ má jẹ́ kó pẹ́ ká lè rí owó lò. Owó òun ló ṣe kókó, ló ṣe pàtàkì. Wọ́n ní they are playing Sharia for where in Yoruba land? Are they sick or mad? Béèrè. So èmi ò mọ Ọlọ́run kó ṣàánú wa. And on that note, thank you so much. Have a very good evening, good afternoon. Yoruba nation, no going back. Yoruba nation for life. Adélẹ̀lérí láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Ṣọmọlókù bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, àní sí pẹ̀lú ìyá rẹ̀. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ gbọ́ lólùfẹ́ wa, Ọlọ́run á ràn wá lọ́wọ́. Gbogbo wa kò ní sú wa, kò dẹ̀ ní rẹ̀ wá. A dẹ̀ ní ṣe lásán. Whatever it takes, náà la máa fi. Bọ́ fẹ́ bọ́kọ̀, a gbọ́dọ̀ free from the shackles and the bondage of Yoruba from Nigeria. Our right in it, sí nǹkan tó lè ṣe sí yẹn. They might not be happy, they might not be comfortable. It's not our problem. Bye for now.